Well, hello and welcome to Hello Chaos. This is a podcast for founders in the thick of it. The messy middle is what we like to call it. The questions, the pressure, the chaos no one puts on LinkedIn. There's no fairy tales here, just the real work of what it takes to start and build a business. And today we have on the show Hart Fandrich, and she is the owner of Piedmont Injury Massage, where hands-on therapy, advanced skincare, and education come together to support real sustainable healing. And she's a kind of a neighbor. She's in Georgia. We're in South Carolina. So welcome to the show, Hart, and I appreciate you being on.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here today.
All right. Well, just tell us, how did you get started to start your own company?
Basically, this is not my first company. I think this is like my fifth.
Whoa. Okay. Well, tell us. Okay. Tell us what started the venture of, and then what led to then opening up
A spa.
this shop. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started when I was really, really young. I mean, we all have this. It's babysitting. That is at the beginning of an entrepreneurship. And I started there and I realized it met the flexibility of the craziness of my schedule that I needed to have because you work more nights and then you can have the day to the freedom. Getting farther in school, I graduated from university in 2008. We all know 2008
Was a disaster. Yeah. I
it
think
wasn't
that
a
was,
great time.
no, it was not.
So my husband signed up for the military and we moved every 3 years and nobody really wanted to hire somebody who literally basically every 3 years you're at a new state, a new job. So I just created my jobs there of figuring out what I wanted to do and everything else. So for the first 15 years, it was more in nurse's aid and taking care of people who just came from surgery. Then I found this very special niche of taking care of kids that couldn't go to school, but their parents had to go to work. So, that 100-degree fever and the chicken pox and everything else.
Yeah. The places that like daycare is like, no, don't send your kid here. But then the parent, it gets stuck. It's like, what do you do? There's no backup plan.
There is no backup plan.
You were the backup plan.
I became the backup plan.
Was your business called Backup Plan? That would have been awesome.
It wasn't. I think it was sick care.
That's even, hey, that works too.
It did. It wasn't great, but hey, it was a 3-year, got it up, got it running, got it flourished, and ended up selling it. But I mean, after being in healthcare with taking care of people who are after surgery or sick children, I'm like, I'm just done with this. I don't want to be gallivanting from people's homes. I'm like, I really wanted to be more socialized. And I fell in love with the spa industry. It blends my physics and my arts together. And I found a great place with it. So my journey started because nobody would hire me.
That's usually, it's either nobody hires me or you get let go or laid off, at a job, or, a lot of times like you just see a gap and you're like, I'm going to problem solve. I'm going to fill that gap. Right. So how long have you had the spa?
Since 2016.
So, oh my gosh, it's almost a decade. What is your anniversary?
I don't even know.
I'm like, you got to celebrate the 10-year. Do you know that's a huge milestone? Huge.
I'm like, because the first one wasn't this, the second one wasn't this, the third one wasn't this. So, I mean, I've been a business owner in the spa since 2016, but not under Piedmont Injury Massage. Piedmont Injury Massage is 4 years old. I want to say June this year.
Yeah. Hey.
But I'm like,
you need to still celebrate.
I celebrate every life and every day.
So going into this, were there any like misperceptions of this spa versus the other businesses that you had that were like, this is different, this feels different from the other experiences?
This one has a lot more regulations behind it, a lot more. So long as you don't say you're a CPA or a nurse or that one, all you have to do is put yourself as a caregiver and have a basic CPR course and a really good attorney for contract. You're golden with the childcare and after that one.
Yeah.
This one, you have to have depends on your location. If I move 1 mile down, I have to have a spa license from the city and get fingerprinted and photographed every year.
Wow.
Then I have to have a business license from the city too. Then I have to have a license for the state of Georgia, and then figuring out that we're all not created equal
No.
and trying to figure out who is the best fit for what I'm doing
Hmm.
is not the best thing. I looked about a year and a half ago, there was 6,247 of us licensed in the state of Georgia for just
Wow.
massage.
I didn't realize that. I mean, I knew that there were a lot of regulations. I mean, but I guess I didn't realize that I knew there were state regulations and then all of that, but then specific city
Uh-huh.
requirements. Okay. Yeah. How did you navigate all that? Was it more like I was supposed to have a license for that and you get a little letter in the mail, or did you already know ahead of time? Like, all right, I got to go through these steps.
My when I graduated from university was in criminal justice. So I actually pulled everything. Thank you for a degree I never used.
Well, clearly you used it.
So I pulled everything and found out the regulations. And then I went to the county and then pulled the county. And then I pulled this city if I was in city limits.
Wow. Okay. So what was the biggest, as you've kind of gone through this journey, what's been the biggest like aha moment for you?
Oh, the aha moment. Round peg, round hole. I love where I'm
Hmm.
at. I don't feel like I'm trying to create something that is not me. It's 100% authentic me.
Yeah.
And I find the people who I need to find and help the people I need to help. And I just love what I do. I mean, it's like this common piece. And what, 10 years of doing it, I still feel like it's the first day going to work.
So we always call it like it's the aha of alignment, right? When everything is just, it lines up both what's in our heart and what our passions are, and then also to project it and find people that it connects. It's like, I mean, I know they say energy is everything, but I think alignment presents that energy.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
definitely agree with that.
What's the biggest challenge? Like, what has been, other than the licensing and all the regulations, what's been like the biggest oh shit moment that you were like, what am I doing?
It's still the biggest oh shit moment. I'm going to be honest with you. Social media marketing,
Hmm.
and then figuring out if you're trying to be the operator, the owner, or the grower,
Right.
and what you can kind of basically give other people to help you. You
Yeah.
don't have to do this alone. This is not meant to be alone. You can stay as is, you can grow, or you can depreciate. And
Right.
it's your choice of what you do. And kind of figuring out what I want to do each year of, is this a growth year, or is this a stabilization year, or is this a little bit of a shrinkage year?
Yeah. No, and then you brought a good point. I think, as founders, we start and we wear all hats, right? And then we start to grow, but you're right. And as you grow, you might change the hat of like, ooh, I'm in like startup, like scrappy mode, but then I got to be let me put the hat on I got to be in the builder mode. I need to start letting go, delegating, scaling. And sometimes it shifts
Yeah.
year to year. Uh, but also, I love what I think there's a freedom and choice too. I think I love like that you brought that up of your you define your success, right? Nobody else defines it. So if success for you is just to have a lifestyle that you have a business that supports your lifestyle, your timing, your household, and it could just be you, that's great. But if you want to grow and add people and scale, that's great too. You define your own success.
Yeah, it's 100%
Yeah.
that part of it. And if a year is too much for you, then go quarter to quarter
Yeah.
or month to month.
Absolutely. So where are you in your phase this year? What hat are you wearing the most?
This year, basically, I'm in the growth year. I'm adding a whole new mind body connection. So I'm doing coaching this year. So
Nice. Okay.
I'm going to start developing that program. So that's a lot more work.
Yeah. So does that mean you're going to have to delegate to, because I think that's like our biggest Achilles heel as founders of, if we do have to delegate, how do we do it? And have you implemented or have you found a secret? to delegating with more ease?
I mean, start getting practice of simple stuff that really doesn't gonna hurt you. It took me so long to delegate laundry.
Mm.
And I
That
mean,
was not a hard task for me. I was like, do it. I hate
I mean,
laundry.
but the other part of it is like, do I want to pay the $169 or the $169 a week for
Right.
laundry? I'm like, do I want this expense? Do I everything else? I'm like, do I want to put that money to somewhere else? I'm like,
Right.
for that one. And I realized somebody really says, are you an operator? Or are you the owner?
Hmm.
And that statement right there has basically made it very, that's a task that you can give off and make sure you have the sheets for the day and you're fine
Yeah.
because you can always recover by washing the sheets that you had that day.
Right.
So I learned to go for low risk delegations to get more comfortable at it. And now, as I'm more into the delegation part of it, I ask myself this question: is this important and it needs to be done by me only, or is this important that it can be done by others?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're a social media account person, then you have to do social media.
Right.
But I'm not a social media person. I can delegate that now.
Yeah, that's right. And especially if you don't like it, because you also have to balance not just what things cost money wise, but what it costs in energy and stress. And like, especially if you're not good at it, right? There are, yeah, like finances or anything like get somebody that you trust to kind of walk you through it. But if it takes you 10 hours to do your own books and you can delegate it for 1 or 2 hours, the cost outweighs that. Like, I think to your point of, are you the operator or are you the owner?
Mhm.
Um, and you start looking at money differently.
And
What's my time worth?
I was about to say, how much do you pay yourself?
Right.
And then is this worth your hourly pay?
Right.
And that's
What could you be doing to move your business forward if you relinquish those 1 hour, 2 hours, or 10 hours to do that? There's other things that you can do that scale your business that if you outsourced it and delegated it.
well, and or split it and say, do I need to spend more time with the family and go to the soccer game and go to the baseball
That's
game?
right. That's right. Yeah. Um, so through this process, what have you learned most about yourself?
I don't give up.
Hmm.
I don't give up. I am a
Yeah.
dog with a bone, according to my family.
The grit.
I'm like, everything's a learning moment. It's not a failure. It's not
That's
hard.
right.
It's just new.
That's right.
My family wanted to strangle me when I was a kid. No means not right now or nitrous oxide, depending on my mood. No didn't mean no.
That's right. Just meant not yet.
Or nitrous oxide, pick one.
Now, what do you do since you're caring for other people and helping them with stress and um, kind of just like bringing life back to people? What do you do to, are there routines or disciplines or activities that you do to calm yourself, keep you focused, keep you with that grit? Like I'm going. What are the activities that you do?
So, one of the things I did not implement last year, but I did implement for 3 years before that consecutively was taking 2 weeks off.
Hmm,
And I went on a cruise so I can have the excuse of no cell phone, no
that's
communication, no
right.
nothing.
Easy turn off,
Uh
right?
huh. And I went on a cruise by myself
Wow.
for 2 whole weeks. And I'm like,
Wonderful. No family, just you?
just me
I would love that.
for
That would
two
be
weeks.
fantastic.
And I'm like, I realized that my personal self really does need that 2 weeks off to kind of, and consecutive to do that one. This past year, yes, I did take some time off. And it was like, here's a continuing education class with
Hmm,
some fun that's associated with it for about maybe 2 or 3 days, or maybe a day, depending on what went on. But there was not a long break this year.
hmm.
And that long break is like enough to kind of calm, cool, and collect yourself. And I'm like, I'm looking forward to it again this year.
Yeah. Well, I think we all need, and we talk to so many founders, and I think everyone has their their different routine or their discipline. Like some people daily go ride their bike for an hour or, hit a gym. I'm just trying to get out and walk, 25, 30 minutes a day because I've noticed I need that movement, but also just the space of thinking and whatever you need to do to kind of turn off, check out, reinvigorate, like, because it's our creativity, it stimulates, but we have to have those quiet moments to do that.
My daily quiet moment is probably water. I love being in water. Like I have a hot tub. I go sit in my hot tub. I have an indoor pool that's 15 minutes from my house. So I might go swim. I love being in water.
Nice.
And my
Yeah.
body loves me back for it because it takes the gravity off of it
Oh,
and it
yeah.
presses you. So I get the longevity of basically being in space without spending the money to being in space.
Right, right, right. So, what do you think has been the most challenging aspect of owning a business?
Your reason for owning the business and doing the business.
Talk to me about that.
I really, because of how I got started and everything else, I never really thought of it as a challenge or a hardship
Hmm.
because it was in line of everything that I value and love. I value family. I value the community. I value being a part of it. Is that because of my background? Probably, but I really remember being scolded doing bad things while I did it on the way home, and then my parents got the phone calling, "You have to write this stuff yourself out because they already know." But it's if it resonates and aligns with you, as we talked earlier with you, it's just learning moments for that one because you're going to have this in a 9 to 5 of you clocking a ticket as an entrepreneur. And if it's like your passion, your soul, your purpose, your growth for what you're feeling right now, then do it.
Hmm.
I had a good friend of mine who's at the gym who just retired. And they're like, every day is your last day. I went, if it's my last day, I'm going to put a 2 weeks notice on my door and saying, use your gift card. I'm closing. Because if you have that drive is saying, I'm doing good and I'm doing this for a reason, then it supersedes everything of a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's not work, right?
It's not work.
That's right. And has that been the most rewarding part, kind of finding that, or do you see other rewards?
Oh, I see other rewards in it too. I mean, that is a huge one. The other part of it is I get to learn a whole new world behind the medical field
Hmm.
in conjunction to it. So, I mean, I didn't know a lot of things until I went into this world. Vitamin B1, go read up on it. It's called a great mimic disease. And I realized I was B1 deficient.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, like, there's like a huge thing. I think 47 different things it can mimic. And none of my medical professionals tested me for it. I had to
Right.
go to someone. The other part of it is what's the difference between a nerve issue and a tissue issue and a fascia issue? How does it feel? What does it feel different?
Yeah.
Can a fascia entrap a nerve? Yes. I can't tell you if it's a nerve entrapment. That's a doctor.
Right.
But I can help with the fascia or the muscle, depending on what it is. If it's a stabby pain, it's more the muscle. If it's a burning, ropey pain, like the Indian rug burn, as we did for the kid of just that one, that's the
Right.
fascia. So I've learned a lot more tools and techniques to supplement my health for my body, which is so important for me.
Right. And then is that part of your business? Is then you share that
I share that. I mean,
with
I'm like, I'm here to educate people. I'm not going to bogart it. I'm like, I might not have the answer for you, but you know what? Here's some avenues. It's a study of science, never a conqueror of it. And
yeah.
massage and facials and mine is a study. What works for me might not work for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I had a whole lessons learned for vitamins. I didn't realize how deficient I was on especially vitamin D. And yeah, what my doctor was like, yeah, whatever vitamins you're taking or whatever, it's not going to help because you have no vitamin D. And when you have like literally no vitamins absorb, nothing else absorbs. I was
Yeah.
like, That's one of the things. I got to walk outside. They're like the best. I mean, I take vitamin D supplements now, but they're like, go outside for 30 minutes and just sit. You need the sun. I didn't realize how depleted my body was. And it was just from part of it being a business owner, the stress, the pressure of, that was an aha for me of how much it was affecting physiological, not just, emotional.
Well, and the other part that this rings to the bill of it, don't think of it as a failure. Think of it as a learning moment,
That's right.
because there's something always good about it. You might not realize, but you gain a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, that's right. I call it lesson. Yeah, you have to learn, then unlearn, then relearn, and then rinse and repeat. And I've taken failure, I think, out of my vocabulary a couple of years ago for that very reason of they're not failures. It's just moments. It's lessons. Yeah. How do you keep moving forward? Hart, what would our listeners find surprising to learn about you that's not on like LinkedIn or like on your resume, but what would people be surprised about you?
I'm severely dyslexic.
Really?
I
Okay. When have you always been that way and you just didn't know, or were you diagnosed like
I was
in
diagnosed.
school? And
I'm severely dyslexic. I mean, I'll be glad to. The first one, I have a speaking vocabulary of an IQ, verbal IQ of 137.
wow.
I have a written IQ of 69. So don't let a label discourage you.
Right.
I mean, there's always help. I think most of my friends are English majors. I didn't realize that until I'm like, you're an
Until
English.
they correct you all the time and you're like, stop it.
It's more written. I'm like, oh, here, please write this for me, or please do this for me.
This is why social media is hard. Like that's why you hate it, because it's what a
Yes.
pain. Yeah.
Yes. That is part of the reasons why I hate it. And don't let a label stop you.
Yeah.
Don't let something that I can't do it. Well, you can't do it their way, but you can do it your way.
That's right.
And nobody says that your way's wrong. I
That's
mean,
right.
um, as
Didn't you hear the old, what is it, the old saying? There's the best way to do something is two ways,
your way.
your
No,
way or another way. Yeah.
I haven't heard that one. I grew up with there's 101 ways to skin a cat. How are you going to do it?
There you go. Yeah. And it's like when you talk about like brands and companies, and when you think of, W40 always comes to mind. The reason why they got that name was it took 39 failures before the 40th one was the one that made the product work. It's like they had a theory, a test, but it took 39 attempts to make it.
Yeah, I mean,
You just keep going.
just don't keep going. And I mean, don't go put yourself in knee deep in debt, but there's always a way around it. I mean, there's always a fix. There's always something. You just have to be creative in figuring that out. And I'm good at movement, and
Yeah.
that's my job. I do
Right.
movement, and I see movement and everything else. And it's going fast right now, but don't be scared of it and go, I'm just going to write it out. And what can I do to make it better?
Yeah. Um, well, I'm curious. So if you could pick two things about your business today, if I gave you a magic wand and you could change two things, what two things would you change?
I would develop my aesthetics program better than I did.
Hmm.
Massage was just so much easier. That is my goal for this year, is to ramp it up along with the coaching. And just that's the two things. That's one of them. The other thing that I would change is that's a hard one. The second one's a hard one. When I was willing to delegate and delegate
Hmm.
better, ask questions. I was really rocky at delegating at the first of it. I'm like, I interview people like I'm hiring them now when I delegate them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I didn't at
Absolutely.
first.
I know that was a guardrail. I think it was a hard lesson for me. I was hiring too quickly and then not onboarding people appropriately to protect the brand, our clients, and that was something that I learned 8 years into the business. Yeah, lessons learned.
Well, and when you're having trouble with this one, and I'm going to give this nugget out, is this job a priority for you?
Yeah,
And I'm like, it's not an inappropriate question. I'm like, is this a priority? I'm like, I'm not saying that family isn't or anything. And I realize the him and ha and that one and go, oh, yeah. The second question is, what makes it a priority? And they can't answer it.
Yeah.
If it's not,
That's probably not right fit.
it's not a right fit.
Not
And then I
right fit. And
go,
that's okay.
yeah. And
That's
I
okay.
go, we really do need to figure out an exit strategy for you. I'll keep you on for 2 more weeks because that's just the nature of my heart. But
Mm-hmm.
you need to start looking for somebody.
Yeah. Yep. That's uh that's our good. Those are two good questions. Now, have you changed your hiring process based on as you started to hire and now you're, if you had to exit people, do you ask different questions in
I
the
ask completely different questions.
yeah, like what? Like what have you changed? We had to change our entire hiring process. The questions that we ask, even kind of like the steps, because we also intentionally made them little hurdles because we noticed that look, if somebody can't go through from an initial call to like just go into the second hurdle, we weeded people out versus like it should be we should be exclusive to work with, inclusive when they're here. We want to carry the umbrella and the brand and make everybody feel productive once they're here, but it's you know, it's pretty special to work here. We need to treat it that way. That was kind of a lesson for us. But I'm curious, how did you shape your hiring process?
Mine's not easy at
Yeah.
all. I mean, it sounds really easy, but it really isn't easy. A few questions that I ask is if they're transferring from one job to another job, what could the company do right now to keep you?
What are you listening for?
Well, that just tells me what they value enough because not everybody's money motivated. Somebody's like, oh, I want to do an education class, or I want to do a marketing class, or I want to do this part of it, or I want to do a remote day. If that's in your capability of doing it, why don't you do that? So it gives you a nugget besides money.
Yeah.
The other part of it is list your priorities of family, work, and health and monetary. And if it goes, I want to be debt free, I'm going to put that one. Well, that they're looking at a negative.
Hmm.
I want to be cash flow positive. They're like, they have a more positive part of it.
Yeah.
So are they going to be negative Nelly? So I'm looking for the I can't, I won't, I don't. And those are people I don't hire.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
looking for,
Listen to the vocabulary of like, are they a half class full person or are they half class empty?
well, and the other part of it is I'm also listening to the adjectives that they're going to give. Are they
Hmm.
auditorial? I'm like, can you hear yourself talking or does that ring a bell? Those are
Hmm.
auditory people. Can you see this picture? That's visual. Can you feel that? That's kinetic. So
Hmm.
I want to know how they learn. So I'm listening to those insightful description words
Hmm.
that they give me. And one of the questions I ask is describe your favorite vacation. And
What are you
then
listening for there? Is it just
that's,
again just how they dream? That's a great question.
it's not um, how they dream. They're going to give me insight of how they're here,
Hmm.
how they process. Because if I start telling somebody who's very kinetic and going, I feel the toes between the sands and it's just going squishy, squishy, and it has a hot temperature and then a cold temperature as I'm walking through, a kinetic person would understand that one better than a visual person, which is like the powder puff, wonderful blowy sand that's just scraping over the top of my feet that is going over it. That's more of a visual. Listening ones, the auditorial ones, are more like the crunch will get them. The popping of the sand lifting up from your feet might get them a little bit better. And I go, this is how I need to communicate with them. Can I effectively communicate in their style?
Hmm.
I might hire somebody who's more kinetic because I talk that way.
Right.
Will I discourage them? No, but this is like if I'm picking between two people and one's kinetic and one's visual, I'm going to pick the kinetic because
They're
I'm
going to
not,
connect better with your customers,
well,
your
they're going to connect
clientele.
better with my customers. And depending on the job that I hire them for, I might need them. Now, as
Mm.
somebody that is working with me, that I'm their boss, but they're kind of not more social media. I might want to do visual for them.
Mm.
And then I go, okay, I'm talking to them, not me.
Right.
And okay, let me break out my visual words,
Mm.
which I know how to do now.
I like that. I like that question and the insights that you pull from that. So if you look back through your journey of your foundership and entrepreneurship, what word comes up to describe that journey?
People are going to hate me for this, but I love it. Peace. I still feel at peace for this.
That's a great word. We ask, hundreds of founders and we rarely get rarely get a repeat of a word. I don't think we've had this word yet. Everybody has different journeys and they just, even though our themes are similar, but everybody has a different word to describe it. And I like that. That's peace.
It's peace.
Yeah. Looking ahead to the next chapter in your journey, what word do you want to describe that chapter?
What word do I want to describe this wonderful chapter?
Mm-hmm.
That I want to describe this chapter as, I'm going to take this from somebody else. I love the word soul. I heard it about 4 months ago and it has so resonated with me. And I'm going to put my soul, my passion, my intellect, every ounce that is inside me to others and to grow forth, because I think what I'm coming up with next is something that needs to happen. And I just hope that people see it and on the journey and I can figure out how to connect to them.
So peace and soul.
Peace and soul.
Great words. Now, if we met, I come over the border and we go celebrate a year from now. So next, spring, summer, what's the win that we're celebrating?
I want to do growth. This is a growth year. I've been working on it since January, and I'm like, technically I was working on it during Christmas vacation, and it's growth year.
What's the win?
And
What are we celebrating?
the win is basically kind of getting the coaching part up and kicking off. However, that's going to be the transform of more delegation so I can have some more time on my plate, and just being consistent to yourself and just waking up and saying, is still what I want to do?
Hmm.
And yeah, it's still what I want to do in a year.
Right, right. To continue the peace.
Continue this.
Oh, this is fantastic. So, what's the best piece of advice either you would give to listeners that you've kind of learned from yourself, or advice that you've been given and you really took it to heart and that's like, you want to share with others?
Have 3 people that you really do trust.
Hmm.
One person that does not have a skin in the game.
Okay.
One person that knows the game, and they might be a competitor. Like if you own a spa in South Carolina, I own a spa in Georgia, ask them. Have somebody that's a competitor, but not
Right.
direct
I,
competition.
I'm an abundance mindset, and
I
I
am
think,
too.
and I try to coach other like agency owner people like, when you're in a business, don't even think of competitors. That's their game. Don't chase competitors, but you should have a camaraderie and know the other. I sit on roundtables with other agency owners across the country and we share. It's some of the most valuable conversations I have. We're even in our local communities. I don't understand when people are like, I don't go to networking events if I know my competitors will be there. And I'm like, that's a shame. Like I
Yeah.
think you're losing out on great information and connections. So yeah. Yeah.
And then the third person is somebody that is directly involved. It could be a family member, it could
Mm.
be a spouse, it could be somebody in the core family,
Right.
or a business partner if you have a business partner.
Yeah. So
Somebody
that's
that has a direct skin. And
yeah.
those 3 people are part of it. And the other one that just popped in my head that I want to give is, you have to be uncomfortable to grow and put yourself in low risk situations to high risk situations. If you're a person who jumps, then go into a high risk. If you're a person who likes to put their foot in gradually, then go to low risk ones. which means going to the networking things with your competitors, because your competitors have one sales gut. You might have a different.
Right. And it might hone what you do to kind of go, oh, but that's how they position themselves. Ooh, we're different. So how do I describe my difference? So it just really helps like hone who you are to make sure that you're positioning and telling your difference.
Well, and the other part of it is, if it's not your cup of tea, then you know where to put them and say, hey, you're not exactly who I'm looking for as a client, but I know this spa has a great reputation.
That's right. Make those connections. And the referral system is unbelievable. One of my first coaches told me right when I started the business of get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I'm like, man, that's true. Every day. Like you are putting yourself in some uncomfortable. And I would say if you aren't uncomfortable, then you're not growing. You're not stretching yourself.
True. 100%.
Yeah. If it's more complacent, then what are you doing?
You're being comfortable. You have your cozy socks on.
That's right. That's right. This has been fantastic. I've loved the conversation. But before we go, where can people connect with you, find more about what you're doing on coaching? If they want to make an appointment at the spa, tell them how to connect with you, Hart.
So the best way to connect with me is PimaInjuryMassage.com or Care by Heart at Facebook. So you can send me a DM, you can send me a message, you can through the website or Facebook. And I'll look forward to it. And I mean, if it's still a simple question of what am I doing wrong with my skincare regime, I'll be glad to answer it. You don't have to be local. I'm here to educate you as the best I can, because I've seen people buy 20,000 things that do the same thing,
Right.
and they're missing.
Or overspend. My goodness. It is so expensive. And it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that Care by Heart.
Yeah.
I just got the connection. I'm a little slow this morning. Thank you so much for chatting with us today. I appreciate you being on. And that's a wrap on today's chaos, but the work doesn't stop here. If this episode felt familiar, you're not alone. Subscribe, share, and leave us a review on Spotify. It helps more founders find their way through all the noise that's out there. And if you are craving clarity and not more chaos, our sponsor, Bright Marketing, offers a founder clarity sprint that's really designed to help you get unstuck, focused, and moving forward with confidence. You can explore that and more founder tools and episodes over at Orange Whip. That's orangewip.com, or shoot an email to hello@orangewhip.com. Until next time, stay curious, stay scrappy, and remember, we are all a work in progress. See you again next week.